When Alice woke up, her mind was in a fog for a few precious seconds, but then the memories of the previous day came flooding back. She got out of bed and got ready for school. Her mother, Debbie, was in the kitchen preparing breakfast, but Alice ignored her as she walked past. "Alice, was all Debbie managed to say before Alice left the house. When Alice came home from school the night before, her mother told her to get ready for dinner. They were planning to go somewhere with James, Mom's boyfriend. James had been her father's friend since they were both at school, and a year after his death, he began dating Debbie. Alice was cool about their relationship. She'd always liked James, but the thought of her father's friend dating her mother was strange. Alice couldn't deny that her mother seemed happier than ever, so she never brought it up. When they arrived at the restaurant, a nice Italian place, James was already waiting for them. He had always been polite to Alice and had been trying to get closer to her over the past year, but Alice had kept him at arm's length. She was a daddy's girl and didn't need a replacement in her life. After exchanging a few pleasantries, they ordered their dishes, and Debbie finally explained why they were there. "Alice, I have important news for you. James proposed to me last week and I accepted. We will be a family again." Alice didn't like the way her mother said it, but she pushed her irritation to the back of her mind to sincerely congratulate her mother. Alice was going to college, and she didn't want her mother to be alone, so even with her reserve, she was happy for the couple. Debbie and James began excitedly telling her about their wedding plans, the places they were looking for, and all sorts of details that Alice had never thought about. The excitement began to subside when the desserts arrived, and that's when Debbie told Alice the big news. "Alice, dear, the wedding is not the only reason we came here for dinner today. James and I have thought about it and discussed it, and we both want him to adopt you." "Adopted? Are you crazy, Mom? You've been dating him for a year, and Dad died just 2 years ago. How can you even suggest something like that?" Alice screamed at Debbie indignantly. James raised his hand and spoke. "Alice, we know this is a big shock for you, but there is a reason why I want to adopt you. I am your real father. One night, your mother and I got drunk, your father was out of town, and we ended up in bed. Debbie wasn't sure which one of us was the father, but we did a DNA test after you were born, and it turned out it was me. I agreed to step aside out of respect for the love your mother had for your father, but now that he is gone, I want to be the father I should have been for you all along." "Have you two been having an affair all these years behind your dad's back?" Alice asked in shock. "Everything was wrong. It's true that we met here and there, but not more than once, every couple of years, for over 15 years, Debbie answered. "And is this normal? All I hear is that my mother is a woman of easy virtue, and my biological father, a guy who betrays a friend for sex." With these words, Alice stood up and headed towards the exit. Debbie and James were shocked, but by the time they reacted, Alice was already in the taxi. From school, Alice went to the house of Uncle David, the brother of her late father. After telling him the whole story and asking for his help in some legal matters, they both went to her house and started packing her things. They were almost finished when Debbie returned from work. "How are you, sweet? You made me worry and didn't even respond to my messages." Alice ignored her, continuing to carry all her luggage to the door. "What are you doing, Alice? So what is David doing here? Answer me." "I'm moving in with Uncle David because I refuse to live under your roof for even one more day. He has a room for me until I go to college in the fall, and he's agreed to help me manage the funds Dad left for me for college, so I won't need you at all. I hope you have a good life with your future husband. As for me, I refuse to betray the man who raised me, so I won't be involved in this. Goodbye, Mom." Debbie fell to the floor and cried as David took her daughter out of her life. Please like and subscribe to the channel and you will never be cheated on.